Rashid Foster, 7-year-old, lost, separated from his mother, is in the office. Mama, little Foster's eating candy in the office. Jesus, why did you come to Los Angeles? I have come that you might have life. John 10:10. But Jesus, we already have life. Jesus, we got day life, night life, morning life, afternoon life. We already have life. Yes, I see you people are very lively. As a matter of fact, you might say you are incendiary. I spent a few hours in the A.M.E. Valley. Oh, you have life. And I was down to Parker Center. You have life, all right. But I have come that you might have a different kind of life. Our subject is going to be making you an offer you can't refuse. The Good Shepherd always sentences you to life. The Bad Shepherd always sentences you to death. And the good sheep always know the difference. The Good Shepherd is the one with integrity. The Good Shepherd is the one who is genuine. What's our street language? Straight up. Jesus says to each and every one of you this morning, baby, I'm for real. If I tell you I love you, I love you. If I tell you the truth will set you free. If I tell you you are equal in the sight of God, red or yellow, black or white, all are precious in His sight, I want you to believe that. Baby, I'm for real. Some here think that Coke is the real thing. Both kinds of Coke. That's because you haven't met Jesus yet. Oh, everyone who thirsts, come unto me and drink. Everyone, you don't need money. Jesus paid it all. All right. If you are thirsty for righteousness, come unto me and drink. Yes. If you are thirsty for dignity, come unto me and drink. Jesus is the real thing. Yes, yes. The bad shepherd comes always to take life. And the bad shepherd comes always dressed as the good shepherd, filled with words of love. The sheriff who sentenced us, and really that person's not a judge. Down home, we used to call him the high sheriff. And the high sheriff was a symbol of terror. The high sheriff gave us a change of venue. The judge gave us a change of venue that took us away from a valley of possibility out into the seamy valley of death. I know if I get him out there, they'll do the right thing. I love you. The bad shepherd loves all of the sheep except the black sheep.
I'm not. Don't tell it, sir.
And the four great heroes of the West who've been through training that said everyone is to be treated with dignity. You are to love everyone within the environs of greater Los Angeles, and you have a club on your side and a gun on your side and the National Guard at your back and the Army, Navy, and Marines waiting to come to your rescue. You don't have to be a bully force, and yet they crucified little Rodney. I feared for my life. Surrounded by 20 armed police persons, poor little Rodney, prostrate, couldn't even help himself if they wanted to, but they love all the citizens, they love all the sheep, except the black sheep. And the jury charged to lift up the dignity of the law. Yeah. The law of our land given to us by the law of God. The law that's so sacred, when it is taken away or vilified, we cannot live in peace with each other. We cannot live in fairness and equity with each other. Those 12 good people and true go into chambers and they sit day after day after day after day, and they come out and they say, we good 12 people and true love all of the sheep, and we find these poor sheep not guilty. We love all of the sheep except the black sheep. The bad shepherd who wears the badge. The bad shepherd who says it's an aberration. The bad shepherd who gives a blanket of approval. I want you to go out to the streets and I want you to love all of the sheep. And then he winks in his gateway self and says, except the black sheep. Then the sheep get together. The white sheep get together. She's just hearing the truth.
All right.
The white sheep get together over here because the bad sheep doesn't like a color mix. And then the bad shepherd puts the black sheep over here. And the black sheep look at the white sheep and say, Lord, what's going on? They outnumber us 12-1. I sure hope they got fair minds. And the white sheep put their heads together. What we gonna do about them black sheep? And 50% of them say, treat them fairly. And 50% of them say, treat them poorly. Are we some aberration? No, here's a poll conducted by a radio station represented here today. They polled 3,300 people about the outcome of the Rodney King verdict, and they just split almost down the middle. 50% said, we think it's a bad verdict. We think they brought in an inequity of justice. It was a bad verdict. And 50% almost said, we think it's a good verdict. They have done nothing wrong. So what we have is a good verdict from a good judge sending it out in a change of venue. A good verdict coming down from a good jury. This good verdict that's good for nothing except creating chaos, treating us against each other, causing us to hate one another. Good for nothing. Good for nothing. Jesus, let me show you what goodness is. Jesus, I hope you can count way up into the thousands, because I'm going to count every spire of smoke plume that's going up into the sky. Jesus, I hope you can look at the alienation of black against white, against Korean. Every man's hand is set against every other man. Every woman's hand is set against every other woman's hand because of this good verdict.
All right.
Some shepherds create chaos.
Yeah.
And some sheep capitalize on chaos.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad enough when the bad shepherd mistreats the black sheep.
Yes.
It's even worse when the black sheep mistreat each other.
All right.
Now, black sheep, you didn't start all of those fires.
Tell it all.
Every 4 minutes of fire, my goodness, fires don't move on CPT. Our precious non-black brothers and sisters, CPT stands for colored people's time. Little black sheep didn't start all of those fires. For the first, the news reports the northern boundary was Florence Avenue.
Yeah.
Then we come up to Slauson Avenue.
All right.
Then we had Vernon Avenue. Then we had Wilshire Avenue. Then we had Melrose Avenue. Then we had Sunset Boulevard. And we don't live up there, we work up there. We didn't set all of those fires.
All right. Yeah.
When the record is clear, maybe it will show we didn't set most of those fires. But we do have to confess we set some of those fires. To our shame.
Yes.
Because now mother's crying in the ghetto.
Yes.
Because Boys Market had built stores in the ghetto. And Boys Market came in along with a few other markets when nobody would return after the 1965 riots. And 15 of the stores burned down can never open up again because they'll have to build new. And yesterday, 3 representatives of Boys Market came, and we sat together in the office, and we talked together in the office, and we had prayer together in the office. I felt their pain. How could you treat us in the same category with your enemies? How could you treat your friends and your enemies alike? And I had to say, we understand. But Ted Watkins of Watts Labor Action Committee in South Central has served black folks for a generation. They burned his office down. Yeah. Golden Bird Chicken is Blackbird Chicken. They burned his office down. The truth of the matter, we have no excuse for going around setting fires. For now, we have no place where mothers can buy milk for their children. It is in our communities that we have no means, and somebody's going to have to get a transfer and go way up to another section of town, leaving our wealth in that section of town and coming back with nothing but a bag full of nothingness. We are not proud that we set those fires. Yeah. But we'd like to make a distinction to America this morning. The difference between setting a fire and starting a fire. We set some of those fires, but we didn't start any of those fires. Those fires were started when some men of influence decided that this nation can indeed exist half slave and half free. All right. Now let's Those fires were started when some men poured gasoline on the Constitution of the United States of America. Those fires were started when somebody decided that the very pioneers who started this city should not have freedom and justice under the law. Those fires were started when somebody poured gasoline on the criminal code and the civil code, when somebody took word and truth and poured gasoline on it and burned the whole structure down. But it is not to our credit that in the flicker of those fires we were found looting and robbing and pillaging and stealing. For that is not us, dear hearts. We are noble people. I know a mother can say, I was stealing milk for my baby. I understand, baby. I understand. But why did you come to the church? Another, I understand what you were doing, but I cannot condone it. Bye, black sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Ham for my belly. Booze for my brains. Television for my entertainment, just in case it rains. Oh, black sheep. sheep, you must have wool on your head. And you are learning that that wool is good wool because God made it. But God put the wool on your head, not in your head. You have to use your head. You ought to be able to say, I'll go hungry before I'll go humiliated. Your folks said, before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free. Choose hunger over humiliation. And you ask, why the little black sheep jumping on each other? Why? Oh, when I was a younger man, they made a home brew called Sneaky Pete. A lot of things go down smooth. Sneaky Pete went down as smooth as Dionne Warwick and Al Green. But once Sneaky Pete went into action, Sneaky Pete would blow the top of your head off. Sneaky Pete, 150 of the men of the church standing on Western and Adams at 3 o'clock in the morning, having been there for 3 hours, standing between 50 police persons who want to do that staccato step, to do that Kent State thing all over again. You could look in some of their eyes and you see, I ain't whipped a black sheep in a long, long time. Not all of them, but it only takes one idiot to make an idiocracy. And on the other end, 150 young black men throwing rocks and stones and bottles from the alcohol they had consumed, provoking these people to move forward. And the men of the church said, no, 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 don't throw that, and formed a line presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. And what was egging the rock throwers on? Sneaky Pete, a little black sheep with a woolly mind, hollering out, throw the stone, throw the stone, throw the stone. And what does he have in his hand? Absolutely nothing. And where is he located? Way in the back. So that when the head whipping starts, he'll start. Sneaky Pete. Well, why would anybody follow Sneaky Pete? Whether he's Western Adams, Sneaky Pete, or Parker Center, Sneaky Pete. Why would anybody follow Sneaky Pete? Why would anybody endure an embarrassment to the city of the angels, one of the most sophisticated cities in the world, having a little white sheep with a woolly mind talking for everybody? Why would we endure Sneaky Pete? Go to Israel and watch. The shepherd has the sheep drinking and eating. Then the shepherd calls out, "Are we?" And the sheep get up and they follow their shepherd. And he knows the name. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bloods. Come on, Crips. Come on, preachers. Come on, everybody knows that name. They follow him. And someone asked the guide, "Sir, will the sheep always follow the shepherd?" "Oh, yes, except the sick sheep. They'll follow anybody." Well, I'm coming home now. Just want to tell you about our friend who says, I'm for real. He says, I know my sheep. And my sheep know me. And my good sheep follow me. And my sick sheep will follow anybody. And my good sheep, let me tell you this morning, because we got to clean up the town. Yes. We got to clean up the air. Yes. We got to clean up the air. And as you clean up, smoke gets in your eyes. But don't you worry about that. Weep a little bit and keep on walking. Smoke gets in your eyes. Blink a little bit because you cannot see through teardrops. You cannot see through the occlusion of hatred and anger and violence, and you lump all white folks together. You lump all Korean folks together. You lump all black folks together. Weep a little bit, but keep on walking. And when the smoke gets too thick for you, sit down by the side of the road and have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your troubles. Then remember Jesus. You brought me all the way. You're such a wonderful Savior. I've never known you to fail me. Jesus, you brought me all the way. Then you get up and you keep on walking up the King's Highway. And when you know anything, there's a warm hand in your hand. There is your friend who brought you out of the valley of the shadow of death. There is your friend who fed you when you couldn't feed yourself. There is your friend who educated you when you couldn't educate yourself. There is your friend who defended you when you couldn't afford an attorney. There is your friend who helped you build a house when the bank redlined your house. There is a friend. There is a friend. Walk on with him. Walk on by faith. Clean up. The smoke is passing over. Walk on by faith.